to make sure I have my actual audio on. Hey, we're live, and everything appears to be working okay. I'm gonna make this a fairly short stream tonight, but we're gonna go for it, because despite having had an on and off battle with a pretty rough migraine today, I want to make more progress with Yakuza Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth on stream, and I've been building up to streaming this game for a while, and I don't want to, I don't want to be delayed further than I have to in having a play of this game on stream. So I'm gonna try and at least play like an hour and a half. Try and make it to Hawaii on stream today would be nice. Get to the big open world so that next week we can play around in that on stream. So I'm currently running around just trying to grab some cash to buy some early upgrades for my party members. And then we will break into the Seiryu clan headquarters and find out what's up, what's going on. How's everyone doing today? There we go, I think we are up and running. I think that might be enough for what I was trying to buy equipment-wise. We'll find out. We'll do a little bit of combat if we must. You know what, I probably can just put my webcam right up in the top corner for this one. Then I can actually see a good chunk of the inventory. Let's get going. And play for as long as I can manage before my body decides, nope, bright lights and sounds are just too much today. Come on, number, there we go. I want to, at the very least, be able to afford the big fancy, let's call it a massage wand for Ichiban to start wielding. Let's at least get that going. There we go, we got the other chat up there. Smackdown, there we go.
Nice. Hell yeah. Moving up in the world.
Oh. It is funny that I did a whole interview this week about photosensitivity because as someone currently suffering with a migraine, I feel like I have a much greater insight than usual on photosensitivity triggers today. How far are we into the game? We did one stream of the game yesterday. Here's what you missed. Ichiban, since the last game, has been trying to help ex-Yakuza get back, get normal jobs, get back into society. He's been trying to help, help them put their lives back together. Some VTuber YouTube drama channel is tried to completely misrepresent what he was doing as like, oh, he's bringing the Yakuza back into doing crimes, and now everyone hates him. He lost his job and everything's gone bad. And also the Seiryu clan seems to be trying to reform, and maybe they had an incentive to stop what Ichiban was up to, because he was trying to help the Yakuza, not have to go back into a life of crime, and they would quite like the ex-Yakuza to go back into a life of crime under the Seiryu clan. Also, Ichiban tried to propose to Sayako at the end of one successful date. He tried to jump straight to proposal, and that didn't go well. That's where we're at. Yeah, this is still the first chapter. We've not had any indication of the fact we're heading to Hawaii in-game yet. Tara says, hey, Laura and Chad, I've watched your streams and listened to Pogposition, so I have to ask, have you played Palworld yet? I sure have. Anyway, was there one more party member that needed these? Yeah. Equip those underpants to you, and... Oh, I need like 3 grand for the massage wand. Okay, I'm gonna have to level grind at least enough to get the massage wand. Which isn't gonna take me long. Like 3 grand. We can get that pretty easy. We can find some combat down here. Yeah, like, I suppose we don't need the massage wand before going into this first combat dungeon, but I also do really want the massage wand before we go into the first combat dungeon. Yeah, at most 6 fights we should... 4 or 5 fights we should have enough to afford that, and then we can go fight our way through the Seryu clan and find out, like, hey, what the fuck is up? Why are you re-recruiting the Yakuza, and does this have anything to do with that VTuber who's trying to stop me from rehabilitating people? Oh, yeah, like 1 more fight and we're there. God, yeah, we're getting this money faster than I anticipated. As I say, it's not going to be a long stream today. It might be an hour, it might be an hour and a half, maybe 2 at a stretch. It really depends on whether this migraine will leave me be for a bit. I've been struggling all day with a pretty rough migraine, and I've been intermittently having to go just lie down in the dark for like an hour at a time to just settle it, which is why I am streaming in a very darkly lit room today. I am just trying to minimize bright lights. But, you know, there's Yakuza to be doing. You know, I've wasted an entire day. I could have been playing Yakuza, being ill. You know, I'm not gonna let it stop me. Gotta progress. Gotta find out what's going on with Ichiban. Swipe all my notifications out the way. There we go. Okay, so we can afford that. Equip it. Ichiban. And that'll do. So let's head to those front doors. While I sip my paracetamol fluids. Okay, these days it's rare for a Yakuza to have someone standing guard. At least they've got a doorbell. Let's head up. Just knock on the door and be like, hello! How are you? May I come visit your Yakuza headquarters, please?
Excuse me.
Hi, I'm Ichiban. I used to be part of the Arakawa family. Captain Takabe helped me out, you know, a while back. There's a guy called Sasuke who joined up with you recently. You know, I was looking after him. I want to check he's okay. Okay. They won't let you in. No exceptions. Okay, we're gonna have to sneak in. We're gonna have to find another way in. The one guy in there we knew is in prison. But, yeah, he's got to make sure that the guy that he was trying to help out at the job center's okay. I'm still sniffly. Yeah, we're gonna find another way in. I'm gonna ask the homeless camp. They'll probably know if there's a way in.
Wow.
Go get a bottle of sake, bring it to the chief, and see if he can help us out. There we go. Where are we heading? We're heading up here. I did not know before today
Never thought I'd see the
that
day we'd all join forces again.
I did not know migraines could be tied to runny nose and sinus issues.
For a bunch of jobless dudes over 40. Who's keeping score? I say you're the best pals a guy could have. And so what if we're out of work? We're heroes in our hearts. Let's hold our heads high. You know, despite you having absolutely zero basis for saying that, I respect your optimism.
Aw, man, you flatter me.
That wasn't exactly a compliment.
I swear, It's never a dull moment with you two around. Anyhow, let's put our backs into it, eh, comrades?
Hell yeah!
Yay, the boys are back. I'm doing rough, Darwincy. I am, as I said, I am ill. I have been wrestling with a pretty rough migraine all day. I had to subtitle the new accessibility episode, and the sounds of, like, clicking on the keyboard were too much for me to listen to for a while. I probably would be in bed having a lie down, if not for the fact that having a lie down really doesn't seem to be helping. So I'm like, if I'm going to be miserable and in pain, I might as well be miserable and in pain, but, you know, playing a game and not being bored, you know? Like, earlier, the lie down was helping, so I did that, but... Up we go. Sake. Whoop. Don't get run over. I did get run over. Apparently saying don't get run over is not enough to stop me getting run over. That's literally all my money, but I do have enough to get the sake, so that'll do. Oh no, side quest.
Hey, aren't you Risa Unai?
I don't know, are you?
A real TV announcer in the flesh. She's even hotter up close.
Radioactive.
Thank you. I'm honored. Well, goodbye.
Wait, hold on. Can we, like, take a picture so I can show all my friends?
Seriously, dude? Forget that. Hey, do you have a boyfriend? How about one of us? Who do you like better? Me or him?
I'm in a bit of a hurry, actually, so excuse me.
What, you think you're some kind of celebrity? I wouldn't piss us off if I were you and I-san.
So she's a TV announcer, huh? I better help her get away from those sleazeballs. Hey, fellas. Can't you see she doesn't want your company?
Huh? Who the hell are you?
Well, how do you know she's not into us, huh? Looks to me like she wants a piece of action, don't it?
I did buy the massage machine. I
If you
did
think she looks like she
a
wants
moment
piece
ago.
of you, no wonder nobody's into
That should help.
You talking shit, old man?
What's so wrong about getting to know a hot TV announcer?
Oh,
If you won't let us get close, we'll just have to take
I'm
you
only
out.
10 minutes in and I'm already feeling like I might just have to cancel tonight's stream. I don't know if it's going to work out.
Okay.
Wearing headphones might be too much for me tonight. That's sort of where I'm at. I'm going to try and do this, but... It's a very important first purchase. Instant improvement to everything about the game when you have this. Oh. This is the day where genuinely I might have an easier time playing a game if there was something like The Last of Us's ability to play with just audio cues. I would probably just go
Going?
play like that
No, please, no.
and turn off my screen.
Freaking scumbags. You alright there?
I am, thank you.
Yeah, Talentless Muse. I didn't know it was a migraine. I was like, I've had sinus pain, and then it went to my head, and I was like, sinus pain and headache? Is that a thing? And the internet was like, it can be a thing, but usually when you think you're having a sinus headache, it's just a migraine. I'm like, oh, that's what a migraine is? Cool.
I really appreciate you saving me.
Fun to know.
So, TV announcer, huh?
I don't just want to be bored lying in bed
Lisa
and in
Unai from
pain.
TBS.
I'm Kasuga. Nice to meet you. I guess you famous people got it tough. Getting pestered by creeps like that.
Oh, I wouldn't say that I'm famous, but I do get
Just
harassed
everything
by
from, like,
people
cheeks
sometimes, yes.
behind the eyes and
This is
front of
one
the
hot
head is
dumpster
just
fire in
rough.
town, so just be careful around these bars, yeah? Anyway, you heading to work?
Right you are. I'm on my way to a radio show, actually.
Oh yeah?
Yes, indeed. Have you heard of TBS Radio?
Of first time I've heard of it, but I might have a radio cassette player lying around somewhere, so I could probably tune in.
Then please give us a listen. You can also try tuning in with a phone app, too.
Thank you for rescuing me. Please listen to my radio show. I'm gonna use the fact you rescued me as an advertising moment.
Sometimes we even talk about things overseas. I join as a co-host every now and then. We end up talking about games pretty often when I'm there.
Games?
You like games too?
Ichiban likes
I used to play
games.
them a lot when I was a kid. Always wanted to be a hero.
Oh, a hero, you say? That sounds cool, I guess. Is this guy some kind of LARPer?
I haven't been able to play any games recently, though. Well, maybe I ought to use the radio to study up on what's new.
That'd be great. I could even talk about how you saved me on today's segment.
Oh, no, it's cool. What I did's not worth mentioning on the radio. Well, take care, Unai-san. Stay safe, and good luck with your radio show.
Will do. Thank you again, Kasuga-san.
Radio shows, huh? Been a while since I've listened to one, but maybe I'll give it a shot with my radio cassette back home. She mentioned they also have a smartphone app or something, so maybe I'll download that too.
Even if we don't make it to Hawaii today, I want to make it to a bit of this where it's like, here's why we're going to Hawaii. I'd like to push through and get that far. Tara says, fun if it was a podcast but he didn't understand. It is kind of more like a podcast than a radio show. You can listen to it on your phone in like a pre-recorded format. You don't have to tune in live for it. It seems more like it's a podcast. There were big plans for a building to be made. The pandemic hit as it was picking up steam. The construction companies went under. All that was left was some steel frames. Oh, and the homeless group moved in. Okay. If Bleach Japan was still around, they'd have never let this happen. It's a triumphal arc of victory. It's a castle for the local homeless community. Oh, hey, it's the chief. Yeah, we're here for a favor. We brought you sake. Can you help us out? Okay. Yeah, we're looking to sneak in to, into the Seiryu clan building. Oh, he can help us get in, but getting our suit clean's not going to be cheap. Going to be a slightly gross way into the building, it seems. I follow him. Yep. If we go do this, we're going to be locked into doing a dungeon for a while. That's cool.
Huh?
We're going to climb through the sewage. It is indeed the sewage tunnel in the middle of winter.
Huh?
That's your route, friends.
No.
Okay.
Wow.
In we go. What I've played of this so far, Nocto, has been fantastic. The game really does seem quite special. Even if I've not been able to enjoy it as much as I should because of the migraine, it does seem rather special.
I can't swim anymore. Looks like we can get up from there. Hang in there, Nama. Can we really get to the Seiryu clan HQ through this rat hole?
Yeah, no doubt about it. Still, I have heard some rumors about some real weirdos shacking up here. Stay on guard.
Chew! Chew! As many collectibles as we can on our way. I'm gonna try and speedrun this dungeon as best I can. Okay, Okay, we can pop the health ring on someone. Chew. Yeah, no, my migraine symptoms have basically been like, it feels like my cheeks, my eyes, and the front of my head are like, it feels like there is something swollen and pushing it all forward. Just all of it feels like it's being pushed against my skull. It's not fun. Okay. Yeah, it's been a rough day today. I got my work done, but not without a fair amount of pushing through. Oh, I'm not timing these perfect blocks well. Oh well. Fine, it's early on. We're leveling up fast enough. We're leveling up fast enough that our health will restore quick enough that we don't really need to worry too much.
It works. Not bad.
There's a tougher enemy in here, but they're protecting an item, so we're gonna try and get that.
Okay. Let's go. Watch this.
Humans weak to fire. Who could have predicted?
I'm up.
Trash bag capper, down you go. Yes, the trash bag man it sure is a design choice they made. Ooh, better shoes. Who are we gonna give the good shoes to? Sure. Have some nice white trainers to wear in the sewers, Ichiban. I'm sure that'll go down a treat.
Yeah. You're in it now. Suck on me. I'm up.
I can hit you into Ichiban, who can hit you back. There we go. Hey, Sparkly Synth. How are you?
Moving up in the world.
Okay. Some more healing items. Clear these guys out and then grab the items from the lower level quick. Not a hugely lengthy dungeon, this. I'm gonna try and just knock you all into each other. I can speed up. Yeah, whole fight cleared out there. Look at that. Look at us go. Work clothes. Work clothes are a stat up, which means we can put the hoodie on you. And we have keys and safes now, so I found a safe key. We can open a safe. You get a passion bandana. First piece of headwear. I think we're already pretty near the end of the sewer. I think. Oh no, sleeping bag worms. Squirm worm. Tara says, evening fellow not AI porn bots. You're making a lot of assumptions about the Twitch chat here. You don't know who's secretly an AI porn bot. You know, we make no assumptions here about the people in this community. I assume there's a few humans in here because some people have done Twitch donations. I would be surprised if any of the AI porn bots on Twitch were doing Twitch subs, but you never know. Maybe it's a marketing tactic. Maybe I've just never Googled some of your Twitch usernames and it's like, secretly, every time I shouted out your Twitch username, I was promoting an AI porn channel secretly. Talentless Me says, I am a human being. That is what an AI porn bot might say, though. If you asked an AI porn bot if they were a human, they probably would tell you they were a human. Is my understanding, so I don't know how much that counts for. You're legally required to tell me if you're a bot. Is that how bots work? Have they made new laws that bots have to say they're bots? Double team, double tack. I've got a perfect guard in there. Down you go. Look, there's a very thin dividing line between human being and trash goblin, you know. There's very little to separate the distinction there. Okay, recover health. Ooh, helmet. Grab that. Pop that on Ichiban. Bandana onto you.
Hey.
Yeah, let's go. Let's head into their hideout and find out what the plot is.
Looks like we were able to sneak in.
Where are we? The Seiryu clan courtyard? The chairman's room's up there, right?
Yeah, no way I'd forget it.
Man, that takes me back. It was just us three. First time we came here. Whoa, hey! The hell did you come from?
Nocto says, I've never had a migraine, but I hear they're the absolute worst. I've had headaches before that I went, is this a migraine? I don't know. Is this what a migraine is? Today is the first time I've gone, I definitely am having a migraine. There is no question about it. I understand the difference now.
Right. Guess it's a fight then. Now let's rock and roll. Adachi-san!
Incompetent hero, yeah, dark mode, Laura, because my migraine is kicking my ass and has been for about 10 hours now. On and off. That's better. So glad we got the big massage one before coming in here. It's such a good difference to our damage output. Yeah, in Competent Hero, I debated not doing this, and here's the thing. Earlier, I had like a lie down for like 2 hours, and that actively really helped, and it meant I was able to like enjoy myself for a bit. And then at 6 today, I was like, I'll try doing that again. You know, the migraines come back. I'll try having a lie down in the dark again, see if that helps. And this time it didn't help. The migraine just persisted, and I was like, well, I could keep lying here in the dark, and like, granted, if I was lying down in the dark not playing now, it would be a little less bad. It's a little worse because I'm looking at a screen and hearing sounds. But I could be having a pretty miserable time being bored alone in the dark in bed. Or I could have a slightly worse time, but at least be playing a video game and having some company and being less bored. And I feel like the trade is worth it, at least for, like, however long it's going to take me to do this bit of narrative that will lead to Ichiban's ready to go to Hawaii. So we're gonna power through, and I suspect it's gonna be like maybe an hour and a half stream, and then I'm gonna call it a night. So it's not gonna be the longest one tonight, but it's long enough that I feel less like my whole day has been eaten up by this thing. Slightly more like I still got something done today before I go back to just lying in the dark, hoping this passes. That means I am staying hydrated. I am hydrating as best I can. Right, we've got a work shirt. Work clothes are an upgrade, and then we put the hoodie on Nanba. Yes, I don't do well at not doing work when I'm ill. And I've tried to be better recently, but I've been ill a few times recently, and having a few back-to-back instances of forced unproductivity because of illness, I'm like, I don't want today to win. You know. If any of you watched the interview with the photosensitivity consultant that went up yesterday with Yebe Newman, I'm having one of those days where I'm like, my body is telling me, like, hey, you aren't too unwell to do this, but I'm going, yeah, but I'm gonna tell myself I'm not, just for a little bit, because I want to have fun. I don't want to let my body throwing a tantrum stop me having fun for a bit. As is the eternal lived experience of disability, is the, my body has decided I don't get to have fun today. Occasionally you gotta tell your body to fuck off and do it anyway. I'm not saying it's good advice, I'm not saying it's something you should do, but the way I put it was like, we were having a conversation, you should go listen to it, it's up on YouTube, go check it out. But yes, we were talking about the fact that a lot of people with photosensitive conditions are somewhat in denial about the disabilities they have. And I was like, not the same obviously, but I can empathize with not wanting to acknowledge your disability, because my point of empathy at the time that I was talking about in the interview was sometimes I will go to a concert knowing that, like, the loud noises and the people and the bright lights, I will struggle for a few days afterwards, but in the moment I'm like, nah, fucking, I'm doing this. But today I'm like, oh, no, I understand it from a photosensitive perspective now, because my god, this migraine is photosensitive. I am being like a lactose intolerant person who's decided they're gonna eat cheese knowing what cheese is gonna do to them. I'm like, I know the consequences, but I will not let this dictate my life in this moment. I'm gonna have that ice cream and I will, you know, sit in the bathroom afterwards if I have to. It's that kind of response. Dandelion says, is the payback worth it? Hard question, but sometimes the answer is yes. Yeah, sometimes you just like, particularly with stuff like, you know, disabling physical responses, it's feeling like you have some control sometimes. it's feeling like you still have some degree of control over life when your body is trying to be like, no, you don't get to do stuff. Oh, a lot of lactose intolerant people feel that way. For sure. Heavy Man says they threw some Sea of Stars in this RPG because basic attacks appear to regen your magic meter. Yes, so previously that did happen in the first Like a Dragon with Ichiban, but it was only one of Ichiban's job classes, I think, that did that, or it's one of the job roles would regain MP when you did regular attacks. Now it's just a generic feature of all the characters regardless of job class, which I think is a much better way to do it. I'm glad that they just made that a universal trait rather than something specific to spec into, because it means you can do a lot more of the specials. Not that I've been doing a lot of them on this stream, but that's because there's big flashing lights associated with them, and honestly, right now, big flashing lights are not worth it for my brain. Oh, Incompetent Hero, I understand and empathize. It's like when I had the flu a couple of months ago. The worst bit was I spent a week not only ill, but ill in a way where I couldn't focus. I couldn't, like, enjoy myself during being ill. If I'm gonna be ill, at least let me, like, sit and play video games or something. Like, do something while I'm feeling horrid. Feeling horrid, but also having to be bored is a unpleasant combo.
Remember, stretching's important.
Okay, I think we're nearly at the top now. I apologize in advance if I end up just closing my eyes during the cutscene that plays out at points. Just because I need to reduce my light going into my eyes while we persist through the end of this stream. I'm not going to be doing it for too long today. Okay. Cover.
In it for the long haul.
Oh, okay, I missed one pickup just before this door.
You HQ and gets away with it. You three are dead meat. Damn it. Chip.
Shit.
Okay.
What's the plan, Ichiban? This
I need
guy's
to
not a
remember
good
to
one.
backtrack out of this room if I can to pick up one item before I progress.
Every dungeon needs a tough boss at the end.
Okay. We're at the boss of the dungeon. Cool, we're nearly there. Yeah, we are very much only going to play until the point where we find out why we're going to Hawaii, and then I am calling it for tonight. That is just how it's going to be. Yeah, I'm trying to break the guard. You've got to let me use the character that can break guard.
Maybe we can toss him around.
Brace yourself! Get lost!
Now we're talking.
Oh, it's a cutscene that I might have to press a quick time button in. Yeah. Damn me, not being able to close my eyes during the cutscene moment.
Going in.
No begging for mercy now. Don't get caught. Let's go.
Plant this guy down with the table. Yeah, let's deal with the big one as quick as we can. Let's just get him down.
Now we're
Okay, health's all right. We can do this.
You're weak. No begging for mercy now. Have fun with this.
Okay, big boy's down.
I'm up.
Need to remember they do double hits and not just do the big defend on only the one.
Now we're talking. Let's go. Cool. No begging for mercy now. On to the next.
Cool. And we're going to auto move into the next room. I cannot go back and get that item. Oh well. I can assume it was nothing too vital.
Chairman's just past here, yeah?
Yeah. Stay on your toes.
All right. We'll see that it's settled before next week's meeting. Precisely. We'll accept their proposal. Is that all? Very well. I'll be in touch.
Oh, talentless Muse, I wish you luck. A cold is one of those things that it's really hard to
My
force it to
apologies.
hurry up.
I had to see that through.
They just
I've been
kind of
managing things
insist
in
on doing their own
Chairman
thing at their own
absence. I am
pace.
Kedina, the clan captain.
I
Pleasure to meet you.
think nobody. My wealth is very much finite right now. Oh. This is the guy who's been collecting up all the ex-Yakuza who we'd been trying to get, you know, on the straight and narrow.
So what? You hear about us from Takabe or something?
Yes, I've heard a great deal, too.
And Takabe, he's still locked up, right?
In short, one of ours got busted and the chairman took the brunt of it. He's set to be released in 2 years.
And what about you? You're filling in for him while he's away, right? I don't remember seeing you around before.
I'm a new addition. I didn't join the Seiryu until after the Great Dissolution.
And you're already captain? You sure climbed the ladder fast. Based on that, you must be pretty good.
You flatter me. But you see, with the death of the previous chairman and the chaos that followed the Great Dissolution, well, the fact of the matter is we were short-handed. To be even more blunt about it, my promotion was based entirely...
It's easy to become leader of a faction when the Yakuza has fallen apart and the boss is dead and then the next boss is in prison.
Hey, you're humble, at least.
Right, in Covenant Hero, there's so many nice, like, textures of materials in this game.
The E-Gene 3 are all very much indebted to you. Please excuse me for not reaching out sooner.
Yeah, appreciate you rolling out the red carpet.
We take security matters quite seriously here. Unless I give explicit permission, any intruders are to be eliminated on sight. Unfortunately, it seems there was a delay in giving orders, even after I'd confirmed it was you.
Maybe relax your grip on the place then, huh? One wrong move and we'd be feeding the fish right now.
If I told my men to stand down first thing, I would never have seen our heroes of Yokohama.
Oh, Heavy Man, moving to an OLED monitor really does make such a difference to some
It's
games,
my
right?
responsibility to determine who we do business with. Surely you understand.
Well, I I guess we're the ones who barged in. Wouldn't be right for us to complain about it.
You have my thanks.
Anyway, Ebina-san, the reason we came here...
Yes, I'm aware. It's about Sasaki-san. Is that right?
Yeah, we were trying to help him get on the straight and
That
narrow,
certainly
and then
seems
that
some time.
VTuber ruined his life. Now he's working for you back in the Yakuza, it seems. At least that's what we've heard.
Where do you think we're headed?
In the mountains, you know, so they can bury us in the woods.
Far from it. We're en route to a warehouse at the wharf.
And we gotta go all the way to the harbor just to talk about Sasaki?
Well, seeing is believing, as they often say. After the Great Dissolution 4 years ago, even some Seiryu clan members were ready to leave the Yakuza life behind. Chairman Takabe, in light of this, encouraged them to do just that. However, one major obstacle stands between an ex-Yakuza and the outside.
Yeah, an OLED TV is a good long-term investment, but they are still
Yakuza clause,
bloody pricey.
Yeah, correct. As long as that's in place, former Yakuza are unlikely to find decent work.
Yes, an OLED
Forcing
screen that
many
you
onto
can
the
use
streets,
across multiple
knowing what might await them.
devices,
The
you do
first
get a
thing
lot of
the chairman
benefit
did
out of.
was provide a way one might make an honest living.
And what's that?
You'll see. In fact,
Okay.
we're almost there.
Supposedly this guy's trying to do the same as what Ichiban's trying to do. Find a way for ex-Yakuza to earn an honest living doing not crimes. At least supposedly that's what he's up to. Yeah, I have I have an OLED monitor. I don't have an OLED TV, but the OLED monitor,
Some time ago.
it's the main one I use for like gaming stuff, for
It's
work,
here
for
we
streaming,
gather
and it's the
trash
place I get the most
from
use
all
out of
four
it.
corners of the globe.
Yeah, I'm a little I don't know for certain, but I'm a little suspect of this guy's motivations. The impression I get right now is he is trying to do the same thing as Ichiban, but whereas Ichiban was trying to do it out of the genuine kindness of his heart, this guy's trying to do it for his financial benefit.
Trash.
And the fact that Ichiban was cutting into his profit, he's like, I've got to fuck up your life, Ichiban,
It's things
so
one
that
can
I
look
can profit
forward
off of
to.
getting people onto the
For
straight and
example,
narrow.
We might receive evidence of a president's adultery.
Oh, in Competent Hero, I found an OLED monitor for
A
about,
scholar may
I think it was
call
like
them
500.
pieces of history,
it.
but to others, they are cursed objects.
My setup had included a 720p 30-inch TV as one of my monitors in my streaming setup for about 8 years. I was like, I think I can justify buying a decent resolution monitor
We secretly store
when I started
these
having to capture
controversial
footage
trinkets for
and do
safety.
reviews of next gen stuff. I was like,
At
I
your
should be able to
quiet
at least
request,
see
we'll
the
dispose
next
of
gen
their
visuals
trash without
if I'm going to be
mistake.
reviewing them.
It's our duty to make clients feel safe, that they might entrust their disposables to this island nation we call Japan.
So, it's like a giant safety deposit box.
Precisely. Each storage container is lined with lead, so even X-rays.
Here's
can't
storage
make out their
boxes you can hide your
contents.
secrets in, and we'll
In
burn them if
addition,
anyone comes
The
looking.
interiors are also vacuum sealed to prevent degradation. Naturally, that demands a rather high premium, but we still find ourselves with new inventory almost every day.
I swear. What'll you Yakuza think up next?
Oh, this isn't just some Seiryu clan racket. It's our front corporation.
Right, so this is where you're sending those who want out?
Yes. The Omi and Tojo's dissolution changed everything. Many Yakuza who were unable to reintegrate into society have since returned. Not everyone can weather those 5 long years, and thus the Yakuza is all they have. Whatever their reasons, it's estimated they number over 10,000.
I mean, telling this muse, it's technically not a crime to go, I have stuff that I want to keep safe and I don't want prying eyes to see. Will you look after it? And because I want privacy, if someone tries to see my things that are mine and I have a right to privacy, just set them on fire. Like, there's technically no law against that. That is technically on the straight and narrow. Heavy Man says Abina is behind the 5-year clause. I mean, seems like it. But yeah, the vibe I get is very much that Ichiban was helping people get on the straight and narrow in a way that wasn't benefiting the Seryu clan, which is why the Seryu clan probably orchestrated Ichiban's downfall so that they could be making profit off of that workforce rather than Ichiban sort of dispersing them into regular society.
There's still that many?
As far as they're concerned, the best option is to side with smaller, local groups. Provided at least one organization remains, they will no doubt continue to seek them out. For this reason, Chairman Takabe plans to coordinate with all remaining Yakuza clans and quickly dissolve them as well.
In my own playthrough, I've played a bit further.
The Yomei Alliance of Hiroshima.
I have 3 party members in Hawaii.
The Ryudo family of Okinawa.
In my own playthrough,
The start.
not that far ahead of this.
Many other groups as well. He's aptly called this plan the Second Great Dissolution. Should it succeed, then the Yakuza will truly be a thing of the past.
Yeah, Incompetent Hero says, basically just disaster capitalism, but for a crumbling criminal outfit. I mean, kind of.
Never knew Takabe had his sights set so high.
In order to avoid the hardship caused by the first...
Oh, Incompetent Hero, sorry, because of my fucking migraine, I keep forgetting to do... Yesterday when I streamed, I was just muting the mic every time I had to blow my nose. And I've been forgetting to do that because I'm too distracted by the migraine to remember to mute the mic. But apparently that might be the most "this is what blowing a nose sounds like" sound that Incompetent Hero has ever heard in their life. I am a cartoon character sometimes, sorry.
Secured enough jobs. To that end, we've been expanding our business in numerous areas. Frankly, not all of them have been successful. But we can't afford to let that slow us down.
He's trying to make enough businesses that every single ex-Yakuza can work for one of their businesses, which means he will be profiting off of the work of every ex-Yakuza. He's just trying to be the Yakuza again.
Time is right. That's all I can say for now.
You've told us so much already.
He's technically dissolving the Yakuza, but he's consolidating a new organization of his own.
Adachi-san, I'm well aware of all the work you two have done in rehabilitating former Yakuza.
Because here's the thing, I fully expect he's underpaying these former Yakuza. Like, he's taking advantage of the fact they can't get work elsewhere because of Ichiban's downfall. So he can underpay them because they can't find anything else. That's my assumption, is he's profiting off of underpaid labor.
That said, I am also aware of your current predicament.
Yeah, you are. You probably orchestrated it, sir.
Despite this, let me assure you that our goals are the same. Masumi Arakawa's last wish, his incredible dream of giving every last Yakuza a chance at normal life. Would you entrust that to us?
No, I don't trust you.
Kasuga-san, Adachi-san.
You're just trying to profit off of, like, cheap prison labor, basically.
After all, huh? I'm sorry, well, to be honest, I came here with the intent of joining the Seiryu clan. But thankfully, Ebina-san said I could stay a civilian.
You've got nothing to apologize for. If you're okay with this, then you have my support.
We will take responsibility and look after Sasaki-san from...
6Cupid says, there's thousands of Yakuza, right? Ichiban can't help them all out on his own. I wouldn't think he's a threat to their recruitment. I mean, he's been doing a good job. He's been doing it for like 3 years at the start of this game. And he's gotten a reputation of Yakuza showing up going, you're the guy that can help me get into a regular-ass job, right? Like, let's say, you know, let's say he's been helping one ex-Yakuza a day at Hello Work for the last 3 years. That's nearly 1,000 back into employment in 3 years. If he only helps one person a day at the job center. Like, he's been putting the work in.
Amazing what you guys have done. Makes me wonder why I even bothered trying to do it on my own.
Don't trust him, Ichiban.
Ebina-san, I ultimately just want to say thank you. This might sound kind of presumptuous of me, but if I may, could I ask you see this through?
Don't trust him.
No man gets left behind?
Oh, my son.
Yes, of course. I'll see that it's done. Kasuga-san. Provided you still have time, there's someone I'd like you to see.
Yeah? I mean, sure. I've got nothing but time right now.
Glad to hear it. In that case, allow me to give him a call.
Oh yeah, Abin is 100% gonna like pull his shirt off and reveal a tattoo at some point in this
It
game.
would appear he's already here.
He's too nicely buttoned up. Ah, here we go. The man who's going to reveal to us why we're going to Hawaii.
It's been a while.
The man who's been keeping all sorts of secrets.
Holy shit. Captain Sawashiro.
The man who has been keeping enough secrets to justify a sequel. Yeah, like a dragon, the man who progresses the game.
Hard, huh?
Captain Sawashiro! I thought you were in the slammer. What are you doing here?
He was, I
You
think.
were found guilty. You killed the Seiryu chairman.
He did. Or at least, that's what he appeared to have happened. Look, once a Yakuza, always a Yakuza. You know, they drill a specific set of behaviors into you.
As far as Ebin is concerned, you're public enemy number one, right? At a glance, I'd say he's treating you like the opposite.
You know, for a dumbass, you're pretty perceptive, huh, Ichi?
And I see you're at it with that. Would it kill you to be nice for once?
Oh, he meant you're a dumbass in like a lovable way.
So they do.
Dumbass brackets
So,
positive.
What exactly is going on?
Well, long story short, I wasn't the one who killed Chairman Hoshino 4 years ago.
What?
Oh, 6-qubit, I have a huge migraine. I'm doing a short stream, it's not going to be a lengthy one. I wanted to make enough progress in this tonight that everyone can find out why we're going to Hawaii, and then I am stopping the stream. I am doing my best to persevere with a pretty horrid migraine, so apologies that I'm not looking like I'm having a good time. The light of the monitor is pretty rough, but I'm powering through.
Awful late to the party, aren't you? Seems even Hoshino got sick of waiting.
Young master, what have you done?
Yeah, I should be asking you. The ruthless Captain Sawashiro I once knew never dragged his ass. But I have a theory. You let it slip that someone was after the old man's head. Didn't you? If all went according to plan, Ichiban would come save the day before you made the hit. That's what you were banking on, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. I wish I could just turn the monitor off and have audio descriptions on today.
Sure the job was done.
I'll make sure the credit goes to you. If it gets around that you off the Seiryu clan chairman, well, you're sure to impress a cellmate or two.
So then, that means I'd lost your trust some time ago, young master.
You're wrong there, Sawashiro. You never had my trust to begin with.
I'm already thinking about work stuff, but there's a big part of me that's like, I want to make a video at some point that's about like, hey, another aspect of like accessibility stuff, helping people that you wouldn't think it would help. So many of the things that The Last of Us and The Last of Us 2 do in terms of accessibility for sightless blind players would be really fucking useful to me tonight while I am having a migraine that is being set off by is being exacerbated by visual stimuli. Being able to just navigate via audio cues, have audio descriptions, and just turn the monitor off and stream largely without visual input would make a really big difference. Steve McHugh says, I don't mind watching your streams on Infinite Wealth because my copy of Tekken 8 isn't coming this week. Oh, sorry to hear it's coming late. That sucks to hear. I hope you enjoy it when it arrives. And this is where Ichiban and Co ran in and were like, oh shit, you killed the Seiryu clan leader. I can see why they assumed it. The leader was shot in the head and you're sat on the sofa holding the gun that shot him. It's not a good look for you. Six Cubits says, to be honest, the game's intro really drags. I kind of wish they cut the first 3 to 4 hours and had you start the game by meeting the new head of the Seiryu clan. Look, I really enjoy the opening to this game, but I think it is a divisive choice. Yakuza games have always had, like, lengthy intros before they take the training wheels off. But when I say lengthy intros, like, I think it was like 2.5 hours for the first Like a Dragon before you sort of got let loose in the open world. This is closer to 4 hours before you get the training wheels off and you can sort of let loose a little. And I think it's all very well done. I think it's fun. I think it's sweet. I think there's a reasonable amount of gameplay, but I don't blame anyone who disagrees. It's a heavy amount of investment before game starts. I think it's an amazing game, but I don't blame anyone who doesn't like the opening pacing.
I did pray for a sort of miracle. That by some chance I wouldn't have to. But it would have been too shameless of me to plead innocence.
I think this is super captivating, but if it just doesn't hit quite right for you, I don't blame you.
It's true. I suppose I was trying to atone for my sins somehow. It was clear the young master... No. My own son was only sinking deeper into the abyss. I spoiled him. And Arakawa-san's death was a direct result of that. In truth, I might have prevented it. But instead I pushed him to do it. Once they put me in prison, I thought I'd just be counting down the rest of my days.
Reasonable assumption, sir.
But someone put that countdown on hold. That someone was Ebina. A man claiming to be his attorney came to visit. He told me he could prove me innocent, that he wanted to appeal for a retrial.
So Ebina knew the truth? Did he know about Chairman Hoshino? That there was another killer?
Yeah. He's a sharp one, that guy. Real young.
Really wanted to get an ex-Yakuza leader type out of prison and in his debt.
To start up the second great dissolution. You even heard it yourself just now. Arakawa still had a lot more to do before he passed.
I get it. You couldn't be the one Yakuza left out of all this.
No way. I'm the guy that turned from the Tojo to the Omi, incited a war and went on an all-out rampage in the process.
You did do that, sir.
Get someone like me on your leash, and even a fresh face like Ebina's sure to turn a few heads.
Yeah.
To keep the strays in line, you need someone who can bark over them. I suppose that's why he brought me in.
Oh, Incompetent Hero says, your streams lately have convinced me not to do 3 to 6 first, gonna start 7 soon. I genuinely think 7 is a great place to jump to. I think you can get away with making that jump and you will follow just fine. I hope you enjoy. I hope that decision goes well for you.
Captain.
I had asked Ebina to bring you here tonight, but it wasn't so I could talk about myself. I know I have no right, Ichi, but I have a favor to ask you.
I need you to come and learn about this game's plot.
It's a rush job, too. let me hear it first. I don't exactly want to bite off more than I can chew, you know?
Well, as I understand it, you're fresh out of a job, right?
He is.
I'm sure you'll find the time.
You're not wrong. I can't simply tell you now. Yeah, 7 is the first one with this guy as the protagonist in the turn-based battles. It's the first RPG one, yeah.
You run off and snag a passport. Sir, yes, sir, eh?
That's one way to put it.
Well, whatever his favor is, I imagine you'll be heading overseas, right? Passport ain't good for much else.
He's gonna fill me in later today.
A passport?
Said
Are
he'd
we
be
possibly
waiting for me
going to
outside.
Hawaii for some
You gonna
reason?
be okay by yourself?
That we're soon going to learn about.
Can we really trust Sawashiro?
You know, I think if he was gonna hurt me, he'd have done it by now.
Probably.
That's a fair point.
Not only that, I'm out of work, with plenty of time to spare.
And it would be good to get out of the country where currently you're assumed to be a criminal
I feel bad turning
enabler
him down at this point,
by
especially
VTuber
after he
fans.
came to me for help.
Guess we're all going to Heian Tower then. You're not the only one with time on his hands after all.
Okay, yeah, let's take a taxi to where we're going. We can now do just straight away from the map, I believe. Yeah, we don't have to go to a taxi rank. We can just take a taxi directly from the map without having to go to a taxi, which is good. Here we go. Okay, we are about to find out why we're going to Hawaii, and then I am calling it a night. As I said, it's going to be a short one tonight, but I wanted to make it this far. Oh yeah. 8 is the only one not on Game Pass right now, I think, really. It is the new one that they're trying to... They're like, here's the whole series so that you will buy the new one. And I understand entirely the method to the madness there. I hope this has been an alright stream tonight, despite my suffering a bit through it, but after building up that this week was when we were going to start the Infinite Wealth streams, I didn't want to skip tonight entirely and just not make some progress with Infinite Wealth. I wanted to hit the ground running as had it sort of built up to. Here we go. This is it. This is the plot cutscene. This is the one I wanted to get to tonight.
Share a meal here.
I'll say. Still, I assumed it'd just be us.
Actually, they're here on Ebina's orders. I made a lot of enemies before getting arrested. Plenty of people out there still hate my guts, it seems.
Oh, Incompetent Hero, that's the thing. I wouldn't have done this stream today if not for the fact that I knew that 90% of this stream was going to be, let me just listen to a movie I already watched kind of yesterday.
Oh.
I will re-enjoy a movie with chat for an hour and a half and then collapse.
Excellent.
Or where I don't have to look at too much gameplay. If I had to look at the screen, I would have had a much harder time doing an hour and a half of stream, but...
So, what's this favor you're asking?
I'm sending you to Hawaii.
Ah, shit. The place the game takes
Someone
place.
there who wants to meet you.
Hawaii? Who is it?
Well, it's your mother.
Only 4 hours into the game, we find out why we're going to the setting of the game.
Akane-san.
Huh? Wait, that's...
The woman who supposedly died.
Yes, you are indeed the boss and Akane-san's child.
There was a whole cutscene in the first game about how
Years ago,
the boss's wife
I saw
died.
everything with my own eyes. On that day, 2 babies at the coin lockers were sadly mistaken for one another.
Yep. Aoki and Ichiban got mixed up. Ichiban ended up at the Soapland. Aoki ended up with the boss. It was supposed to be the other way around. Ichiban is the boss's kid. The boss's wife. The way it was told in Yakuza 7 is the relationship between the boss and his wife was forbidden for various reasons. They had a kid together regardless. She got caught. The Yakuza went and killed the wife to make an example. And to be like, hey, Yakuza boss, this is why you shouldn't have married her. This is your punishment for going against the Yakuza's wishes.
As Masato Arakawa, the boss's own flesh and blood.
Oh, Incompetent Hero, I'm trying to remember how they worked out that the swap even happened. The short version was two people had made plans to leave a baby in a locker and someone else would pick the baby up, and the key that the boss had didn't work in the locker that he could hear the baby crying in. Like, he could hear the baby crying in a locker, tried the key didn't work, punched the locker until the baby came out, until he could get the baby out, and then later on it was realized, like, oh, there were two babies, oh shit.
You were, of course, replaced with the son I abandoned. If you hate me for it, you're welcome to say so.
Yeah, Sawashiro worked out. So this guy was the parent of the other child in the locker, and he realized, like, oh, this. Yeah, he witnessed the shit go down and worked out that the swap had occurred. Yeah, well, Incompetent Hero, you say impatience. You hear a crying baby in a locker, and you know that your kid is in a locker, and your key isn't working. You panic, because it was a freezing cold night, and, like, he's always blamed the fact that Aoki couldn't walk, on the fact that he got pneumonia in the locker as a baby, and, like, oh, it's my fault for not getting the right key, or whatever I did wrong to not get the kid out the locker sooner is why he's sort of paralyzed from the waist down. Basically, I don't want this baby in a locker I can hear crying to freeze to death before I get to him. And I think that's fair.
I've always had two fathers. Jiro Kasuga at the Shangri-La Soapland, and by oath, Masumi Arakawa. For what it's worth, that's all I needed. Maybe you're right. That said, what about your mother? Right, this Akane-san lady is... Yes. She's your mom. No, but Akane-san, I heard she was killed. Heck, Arakawa-san told me himself. The Hikawa family hunted her down. You know, the guys Arakawa-san used to run with.
He did tell you that.
Right, well, that may be what the boss believed. But it's not entirely true. Prior to the boss's departure, the patriarch of the Hikawa family hoped to marry Arakawa-san to his daughter.
Yeah, this was the whole betrayal thing that got her killed.
You might even say the patriarch wanted him as his heir. But as fate would have it, the boss was already together with Akane-san, so he had to fearfully turn down the offer. Right. That was it. And the patriarch's rage upon hearing the news was more than the boss could have ever imagined. In a sudden turn, he tried to kill both the boss and Akane-san, who at the time was pregnant with you.
Yeah, this was how she ended up giving birth and having to hide him in the locker.
You see, the boss had heard Akane-san was caught by the Hikawa family, but he never saw her body for himself.
You never assume a person's dead if you don't see the body in Yakuza, and even then you don't assume they're dead.
And so he strung up one Hikawa member.
Oh, welcome Raiders. Hi. We are playing Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. It's a Yakuza RPG that just came out yesterday. It's not going to be a particularly lengthy stream today. Apologies for the fact I'm in the dark, as you can see. I have a terrible migraine, and I just wanted to play a little bit more of this tonight so we could get far enough that we get to why is the main character going to Hawaii? So it's not going to be a hugely lengthy stream and I'm kind of in the dark. I apologize in advance for the fact that I'm mildly dying on stream, but I hope you enjoy stepping into the middle of some melodrama about this boy, his wife, his mum is actually alive, despite what the first game told us.
It was too late.
Hawaii or bust indeed.
Ordered to kill the
We're 4 hours into the game and we're finally finding out why we're going to go to Hawaii.
Contractors?
Professional hitmen. So now they were on the hunt too. The Hikawa Patriarch was playing all his
We are all
cards.
dying talentless muse, just, you know, some of us more imminently than others.
Just her alone.
And the inside of my head says I'm dying right now.
Carries a heavy toll. Surely I don't have to tell you that.
I don't like being betrayed, those Yakuza.
It was then Arakawa made one last move. And in order to save your mom, he raided the Hikawa family HQ. All by himself.
Yeah, when Incompetent Hero, we're not in Hawaii yet, but we will be, we'll get there. Takavian says, Dan played around the same amount too, and no Hawaii. We don't know if Hawaii is real. Oh, I can promise you Hawaii is real. I played enough off stream to get to Hawaii. Literally, end of this cutscene, you go back to your apartment and then you go to Hawaii. Hawaii is, like, within arm's reach of this moment.
You're going straight to hell, you damn traitor!
Also, it shouldn't be a surprise that Ichiban is a fucking badass fighter, despite being goofy, because look at his dad. His dad was a vicious fighter in his day. He's got real cornered animal violence to him. This man really tried to find out the fuck you doing with my wife. Heavy Man says, Masumi Arakawa took barbarian levels while Ichiban is pure paladin. Honestly, that's a pretty good take. Barbarian rage versus I've got to follow my paladin's oath. But a paladin that put every level into charisma. I must say, it's impressive to fight your way through an army. There's a whole room full of people with guns, and you just have a knife, and you're like, nah, fuck it, I'm winning. Majima is like a dexterity-based class.
Where is she? Old man.
Wherever she may be, she won't have much longer to live.
Fucking speak.
The hounds are already on her trail, and once they sniff her out, it's feeding time.
Arakawa's clearly not fucking around, dude. You see him, right? Don't fuck with him.
Time makes no difference. My orders are absolute.
Then make new orders. Tell whoever you hired, you're calling it off.
Yeah, Arakawa's not bluffing.
Plans already in motion. Give it up. As far as I'm concerned, you crossed the point of no return a long time ago.
Did you forget? Where the fuck is Akane?
Welcome, Conrad Raiders. Hey, I'll give the same warning I gave when the last set of Raiders came in. I have a horrible migraine, so we are not playing a huge amount of this game tonight, but I wanted to progress with this Yakuza just enough that we can finally find out why we're going to Hawaii and get to the bit where we're about to go to the setting of the game, is where we're going to get to tonight. So, gist is, we're finding out the backstory about Ichiban and his dad, and the fact that Ichiban's mum might have survived, and what that means for us going to Hawaii. Comrade says, the premise is Kiryu goes Hawaiian. Basically, the premise is Kiryu's mum is alive. She wants to meet Kiryu, which can maybe happen now that Kiryu's dad is dead. Go on a holiday to meet your mum, and definitely don't bump into other crime syndicates in Hawaii. That's basically the plot of this one.
Longer in the country.
There's other stuff going on, but that's the gist.
Stowed away on some shady-looking cargo ship, it seems. Imagine a pretty little thing by her lonesome, with hardly a yen to her name. Surely she has to earn her keep somehow.
Don't.
I hear life at sea is quite demanding, but it's the men at sea who I'd be concerned about.
Don't aggravate a man covered in blood with a gun to your temple.
Lined up as we speak.
Don't aggravate a man who just stabbed his way through a corridor of gun wielders.
Stand down.
He ain't bluffing.
He'll be dead just like you. Hikawa!
That's the spirit, Arakawa. Oh, I've been wanting to see that face. To hear you scream like the little brat you are.
God.
Make the call. Do it
God, this
already.
does crime drama so well. Such good tense crime drama when it's not being silly.
One really has to wonder, though, how bad is your bitch holding up?
Makes such good hateable crime lords.
The boss continued torturing the Hikawa patriarch until he breathed his last. But no matter what he did, the madman kept on laughing. Till the bitter end.
That's such a good fucking line, right? You're shooting a man's fingers off one by one and he's just chuckling to the grave.
Akane-san was. And now he had no chance of calling off her pursuers.
But wait, he knew she was headed for the Philippines, right? There had to be something he could do.
There was. He flew to the Philippines as soon as possible, and once he formed his own family, his subordinates joined the search. But nothing ever turned up, and the years just kept passing by. He came to believe that if Akane-san were alive, she would have contacted him.
That's a reasonable assumption to
That day
make.
never came. So he and the rest of us assumed the worst, though no one ever said it out loud. Here. It's the photo of Akane-san the boss had us carry around.
What?
I can't imagine you've seen it.
No one thought to show you what your mum looked like.
This is her? Akane-san? Oh.
She's native Hawaiian, albeit with some Japanese blood mixed in.
Then I have that blood too?
Guess that's how it goes.
Yeah. You are half Hawaiian, it seems, Ichiban.
10 years had passed since Akane-san went missing. Then, one day the boss got an emergency call. It was from an officer of a Filipino group we had dealings with. He found a girl in Hawaii who looked just like her.
Then that mean maybe she moved back home at some point.
Safe to
Yeah.
assume.
We'd been looking at that angle too, as you might have guessed. But the boss never knew where exactly in Hawaii she was born. That might be why we still came up short.
So you went there to take a look? To find Akane-san?
As soon as I got word, I was on the first flight out. It was just me, though. The boss stayed behind.
Why?
What? Why didn't he go with me? If I can afford to be blunt, it's because he was afraid. He'd had enough. A man can only have his hopes built up so many times. The stronger and more promising the lead, the bigger the hurt when it all
Makes
fell through.
sense.
I see. makes sense.
Anyway, off I went. Eventually, I found her. It was Akane's son, no doubt about it.
And she was safe and sound?
She was.
Oh, everything's all good then. Your
Safe
mum's
is
safe,
even
it's all
again.
good.
Granted, that presented a bit of a problem for me.
Huh?
Say all went well, and she returned to the boss. Akane's son would inevitably want to meet her child. And in that case, she'd quickly see that her son's been living with a handicap since the transfer at the coin locker. Now, she might at first say that just being able to reunite is enough. But eventually, she'd want to know about his condition. And she'd probably ask how that happened. Before long, she and the boss would be comparing their memories from that night. Then it'd hit. They'd realize they transferred their baby at different lockers.
Yeah, so I'm putting together how that transfer went wrong the first time, and I think the deal was, if I remember this right, she put the baby in the locker and didn't lock it, and deliberately didn't lock it, and she was like, you'll find the baby in a locker, it won't be locked. He turns up, he hears a baby crying in a locker, the locker that he turns up to is locked. So he punches it until he gets the baby out, thinking maybe she changed her mind at the last minute for some reason. She's no longer around, he can't ask her about it. The person who did put the baby in a locker and locked it comes back and goes, oh shit, that baby's gone. There's a different baby in an unlocked locker over here. Because Ichiban's just quietly in the other locker, not making a sound, even while there's, like, you know, a crying baby and punching to the locker going on. So yeah, if she'd come back, she'd have realized, like, no, I never locked that locker. And you took a baby from a definitely locked locker, did you? That's not our baby.
How then would they treat Masato Arakawa, the young master, the boy they believed was theirs?
They would put two and two together and realize it wasn't their kid.
No one truly knows what would have happened.
Potentially.
But I did know this. As long as Akane's son kept out of Japan, everything here'd stay the same. Neither I nor the young master would have to suffer.
Wait, then you flew out to Akane-san too?
Yeah, so this guy is the actual dad of the young master, the other kid in the swap. And I think his general takeaway was like, look, my son is being raised by the head of the clan. Like, he's not being raised by me, but he's having a good life. You know, he's having a better life than he'd have with me as a disabled kid. I gotta keep this quiet because he's getting way better support there than he would if I was like, nah, actually the kid's got swapped, he's mine.
Exactly. When I saw Akane-san, I was planning to kill her. Even I couldn't help trembling. I had every intention to get rid of the woman the boss loved. However, I ended up walking away. All thanks to something she said.
If anyone asks, I've been dead a long time.
And Akane-san has kids out there?
It shouldn't come as a surprise if you think.
Okay, she didn't want her old husband to know that she was alive because that would put her new kids at risk.
Girl on the run from hired killers.
Because if a single person knows she's alive,
Contact from the man.
her kids might end up with no parents.
Who could blame her for anything? From then on, it was her life to live. So I decided to honor her wishes. I gave word to the boss that Akane-san was dead. I told him the Hikawa family had reached her first. That all I'd found was her lifeless body. Nothing more. The boss quietly accepted my report. The search for Akane-san was called off. And she was never spoken of again. After that, I stayed in contact with her, though sparsely. I needed some control over her so that she wouldn't suddenly get homesick for Japan. You see.
You're a certified...
Just let her pretend to be dead. Don't
Still, I get that
put
this
on a
all started
leash.
because of what Akane-san said. I'm not saying everything you did was wrong.
Well, with the boss now dead and me out of prison, the situation has changed. I wrote a letter to Akane-san. I told her everything there was to know. How I betrayed the boss, and that Ichiban Kasuga, the boy who grew up in a soapland, was her child. Ironic, isn't it? Neither I nor Akane-san were finally free until long after the boss was gone.
I feel like you could have done something about that. You sort of made the choice for that to be the case.
Akane-san. She tells me she wants to meet you.
Holiday! We're gonna go on a holiday and see our mum.
Me?
Just a nice little holiday to go
Akane-san's
meet
own
mum.
address. It's right there on the front.
Is this a letter from Akane-san?
Address has a lot of X's
The
in it.
letter was to stay between me and her. I'm afraid I can't show it to you.
Sure, I get that.
Yeah, I'm sure it must be strange to be in your 40s and be asked to meet your mom for the first time. But Akane-san's only getting older. A son ought to set his mother's mind at ease before she passes on, don't you think?
Well, yeah.
This is just one more way for me to atone for all I've done. I'll be booking your flight to Hawaii. You'll leave tomorrow night.
At least he's paying for the flight.
All
That's
left
something.
Is how you feel about it. Will you go? Not for me, but for Akane-san.
Free holiday to Hawaii. You're in.
Won't you see her?
Go see your one living family member. Oh.
Captain.
Hi, Valentine. I can try and summarize what you've missed. Since yesterday's stream, we found a way into the Seiryu clan hideout. Allegedly, they're trying to help the former Yakuza into legitimate employment. Yeah, it seems a little sketchy. But this guy was like, hey, turns out your mum's alive, and she wants to meet you, and she's in Hawaii. I covered up a bunch of stuff to make the boss think that his wife was dead. She's living in Hawaii. She's perfectly fine.
I beg.
She'd like to meet you. Go see her in Hawaii. That's what you've missed. That's the gist. You know, a bit more dramatic. You know, there was some shooting off of fingers, but...
I never thought I'd see the day you bowed your head to me. All right. I'll go see her.
Well, I would have killed you if you'd said no.
What's up?
Yeah, we're still in one piece. Did you find out what the special request was? Yeah. We're gonna head to the Survive bar and I'll fill you all in. You know what? I'm having a moment of not being in as much struggling as I have been tonight. We can persist like slightly further than I thought we were going to. I want to set foot in Hawaii, even if we do nothing when we get there. I want to get far enough that our feet touch the ground in Hawaii, if possible, and we'll end there. I'm going to do my best to actually prove to any of you that hopped over from Dan's stream that Hawaii does exist before we wrap up today. It's maybe like an extra 5 or 10 minutes for me, but I think that's manageable, and you will see that Hawaii is a map we can load into. Right. What? Okay, yeah, let's just get the taxi over. Kara says, it really seems like they want Ichiban out of Japan. Not important for him to be around for the next part of the plan. Yeah, ideally they want him out of the picture because he and Kiryu are historically the people who fuck up your plans if you're trying to do evil shit within the Yakuza. they're the ones who'll fuck your plan up. And if you can, we know that Kiryu's going to be for some reason in Hawaii too. If you can get both Ichiban and Kiryu in Hawaii, that's 2 less people to fuck up your plan, whatever it is. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe she wants to meet up because the boss is dead. Are you going to go to Hawaii? I want to pay my respects to the woman that the boss loved.
Okay.
Feels like my duty.
Okay.
I've never been out of the country before.
Sure.
Most tourist spots out there have a Japanese speaker or two. There's a lot of Japanese immigrants living in Hawaii over the years. You mentioned traveling abroad to people my age in Japan, and the first the place they'll think of is Hawaii. You know, those quiz shows from way back. The grand prize was usually a Hawaiian vacation for 2. Yeah, Hawaii has a pretty decent Japanese-speaking population, which makes it a good fit for the Yakuza series finally moving out of Japan. We're still not on good terms with Sayako. The message I sent her last year is still marked as unread. If she's not even read it, that's concerning. It's not that she's refusing to respond. I would worry she's, like, in danger. Okay. Or she went on an impromptu holiday to Hawaii and her phone doesn't work out there. Okay, look out for the white taxis. A lot of Japanese folks get scammed because crooks think we all look like mild-mannered idiots.
Listen.
Stop by Arakawa's grave before you go, probably. Yeah.
Thanks. Listen. Yeah.
Yeah, none of them have gone to Arakawa's grave in a while, so we will get a taxi and do that. And then we'll go get on a plane to Hawaii. A location that does exist in this game, I promise you. Despite us being 4.5 hours into the game. It's going to be near the 5-hour mark before we get to Hawaii. Genuinely, we're going to be nearly 5 hours before we get to Hawaii.
Wants to see me.
It's longer than I thought.
Arakawa, he had no clue Akane-san was still alive. Nor that you were actually his son. He never knew about any of it.
You know, whether I'm the boss's blood or not, I can't actually say. Honestly.
Valentine, the Animal Crossing bit is definitely in Hawaii. I've still not made it to the Animal Crossing bit. In my own, like, playing a little ahead yesterday in my own time, in the evening, I have started getting, like, blueprints for items in the Animal Crossing minigame, but I haven't found the Animal Crossing minigame yet. But I have blueprints for, like, furniture and buildings for when I find the Animal Crossing.
Boss. His blood, my blood, it's not important. It doesn't change a thing.
And that's why you won't take a DNA test? If it were me, I'd want to set the record straight.
For all I care, I got 2 dads.
Yeah.
I've got the boss right here, and I've got Jiro Kasuga, the man who stepped in when
he doesn't want to make one of these dads more real than the other. I respect that. As someone who doesn't, like, you know, it seems pretty fucking likely that the boss is his biological dad. But I can understand going, these 2 dads were both very important to me in different ways, and I don't want to set in stone, this one was the real one.
Man.
I can understand wanting to have some degree of, they're both my dad.
Say, by the way, what's that in your hand?
Oh, I've got some of the boss's ashes in here.
Huh. You get that made somewhere?
I want to give it to Akane-san. You know, provided she'll accept it.
So that was it, huh? That's what made you decide to go?
Maybe. For what it's worth, I thought it might make the boss happy.
Even if he didn't know his wife was alive,
what do you think, boss?
A piece of him will make it back to her someday. I think that's quite poetic. I think there's something to the idea of, even if you know, before your death you didn't get to see your wife again, the mother of your child, a piece of you will make it back to her. You will be together again. Honestly, Terra, for an exchange between, like, involving a heterosexual couple, it does sound pretty gay. Right, let's head to the station. Let's go get a flight. Oh, I forgot that we've got this.
What's up, Nancy?
Do you remember Nancy the crawfish from the first Ichiban game?
Nancy. I sort of bargained for her life with a homeless fisherman. She's been with me since.
He was gonna eat her and we saved her, and then she became a powerful summon.
Oh yeah. If I'm going to Hawaii, Nancy'll need a sitter. Wonder who I could ask. Itachi-san, maybe? Huh? That a no? Listen, if my stay in Hawaii goes long, you might dry out by the time I'm back.
I wanna come with you!
Fine, have it your way. We're in this together.
Nancy's coming with us!
Hawaii with me? Yeah.
Nancy's coming to Hawaii!
Girl, keep cool, Nancy.
We're not going alone, we're gonna have at least one companion with us when we arrive in Hawaii. With just a backpack and a crawfish, we're off around the world. Oh, we do have one more little side quest to pick up. Do you remember Sujimon? We've got Gen 2. We've got Johto Sujimon.
Just another crazy off the streets. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Now, I've not encountered this properly yet, but my understanding is somewhere in Hawaii we start, rather than just like having the Suji decks and cataloguing all of the weird enemies, we can capture them to some degree and have Pokemon battles, but with like weirdo creeps. There's a new region with new Sujimon, and this time we get to catch them and battle them.
We know how to handle this.
Roger.
It's a whole new place with a brand new attitude, but you've still gotta catch 'em all and be the best that you can be. Sujimon Hawaii. Yeah, I believe it might be a job class. I don't know that for sure, but I've seen some stuff to imply it might be a job class. Or it might be a side mode. It might be both a side mode and a job class option. Like, I think there is, like, tournaments, but there is also an option to just be a Pokemon trainer, and that's your battle class, maybe. I've not made it to the ability to swap job classes yet, but...
Man, what was his problem?
Oh, it's a
I swear.
massage
This is just as
wand.
ugly as
Yes.
Oh, a turncoat titillator. Classic. You've not lost a step, Kasuga. How fortunate for us all.
Huh?
It's been a while.
One of the Pokemon games was kind of Hawaii. I think that, Sun and Moon, Alola was kind of Hawaii.
My boy.
We're sort of doing Pokemon Sun and Moon, a little.
Who were you again?
Is Professor Oak.
It's me, you fool. Professor Morikasa, the bloody Sujimon Sensei.
The Sujimon Sensei, the Pokemon Professor.
Just kidding. Of course I remember you, Sensei.
Sujimon Sensei? This guy a friend of yours, Kasuga?
You were with me when I met him, I think. He took us over to his, Sujimon Center, right?
Come on, man. It's hard enough to remember the names of cute girls these days. Much less scarred up cue balls.
If you say so. Listen then. This guy's the Sujimon Sensei. The creep who researches other creeps. Had me fill up a whole catalog with data on them. The Sujimon.
Yeah, you had to pick your red, blue, or green starter Sujimon. It was a whole thing.
Super jittery. Sujimon.
Gotta catalog them all.
Yes, it's a stretch, but a necessary classification. For society to rid itself of these violent creepazoids, research and categorization are vital endeavors. You see, as ever, my ultimate goal is world peace.
No
You
shit.
sound pretty evil in the way you say world peace, sir.
Despite all my efforts, it's still rotten with criminals and degenerates. Just look around you for proof. And so I collect data on them, their behaviors, their habitats, to help good, honest citizens stay clear of danger.
That's why you needed Kasuga's help, since he's always getting his ass kicked in the seediest parts of town? Right. It's coming back to me now.
Well, Kasuga, will you take up the Sujimon cause once more to be the very best?
Like no one was before.
Sure. You do still have the Sujidex installed on your phone, of course, don't you?
Hey, hold on!
Oops, I might have deleted my Pokédex app.
Sujidex app. All that data gone.
Sorry.
Hey man, those things don't have much space.
There's no cloud backup.
Look, buy me a phone with a good, amount of storage space on it, and maybe I won't uninstall the Sujidex.
Oh, what a pain in the ass.
Enough whining. You want to keep the world safe, don't you?
Wait, I forgot. I'm planning to go to Hawaii soon. Will this thing even work overseas?
Well, it should, in theory. But why are you headed there, might I ask?
I've got some stuff to take care of.
My boy, Hawaii is known far and wide as a Sujimon paradise.
It's a brand new region. There's going to be at least, 150 new Sujimon to discover.
An entirely different region of Sujimon. A tropical dreamscape, yet a land of
Shit, I hadn't caught this the first time through. Pokemon Sun and Moon are the ones based on Hawaii. A tropical dreamscape and yet a land of shadows blessed by the sun and the moon. They literally fucking reference Pokemon Sun and Moon. Oh, that's great. I missed that the first time.
I've even heard tell of some
Welcome, Raiders. Hi, everyone. Oh, that's so good. Genuinely, there is so much love for the Pokemon series in this stupid Sujimon plotline.
Sujimon data. Remember, gotta dispatch 'em all.
Gotta dispatch 'em all.
Pokemon Master again.
Whatever you say, Sensei.
It is a look. If this is anything like the first one, it is pretty loving in its parody of Pokemon, as stupid as it is.
Going to Hawaii, huh? This might be my one chance to get it all back.
Yeah, I don't know where I know this man's evil voice from, but he's a very familiar voice, right? Okay. Let's do it. Within 5 hours. If we can get to Hawaii in the next 12 minutes, we got there in under 5 hours. We're going to do it. We're going to make it to Hawaii within 5 hours. We're gonna make it there. Today's stream will be under 2 hours. I will go have a lie down. I'll wake up tomorrow with no migraine, and the world will be great. It's all gonna work out.
Cool. Now we're talking. Let's go.
Yeah, another one in the back.
We will prove today that Hawaii is a piece of in-game content. There's part of me that's tempted to just keep playing beyond that, but I'm like, I need to be sensible. I need to listen to my body and the fact that it's struggling. But it's going in waves. Like, I'm feeling better now than I was at the start of the stream. Do the VODs get uploaded to YouTube? Yeah, if you go to youtube.com/LauraKBuzz, the live stream simultaneously happen to both Twitch and YouTube, so you can watch on either, and you can go watch the live stream VODs on YouTube. Hey, YOLO Swag Brownie, that is a great Twitch name. Yeah, because I know if I get to Hawaii and then I keep going, I think I'm going to be locked into like at least another half hour, 40 minutes of play. And I think my problem is I don't want to commit to another big chunk of play tonight, because like the migraine is coming and going. And if I go, oh, I'm feeling better, I'll keep playing, and then like 5 minutes in, I'm like, oh no, I feel worse again. I'm gonna be stuck continuing to play when I'm not feeling well. So we're gonna get to Hawaii, and that's what we're gonna call it. I'll be sensible.
It's Hawaii, not a day trip up to some hot spring. You're staying there at least a few nights, right? Bring enough change of clothes?
Hey, if I run out, I'll buy some. I hate dragging luggage around. Look at us. First we're homeless, and now we're stressing about extra clothes.
Hey, you're right. We really moved on up. This might just be the R&R you needed. Take the time to enjoy it. Oh, and I'm good with any gift. But macadamia nuts.
Sure. Thanks, guys. Well,
Yeah, we call it a night when I get to Hawaii. Don't overstretch it, Laura. Be glad that you're ending in a not the worst migraine place. Don't overdo it and make it worse. Right. Have I played Palworld? Yeah, I have. Just wasn't for me. If you listen to this week's Pogquisition episode, soundcloud.com/Jimquisition, I talk in depth about it. I don't think it's a terrible game. It's just not a game for me. I don't enjoy it, but I'm glad that other people do. It's just the kind of game where I'm like, it's not feeling fulfilling, but I am compelled to keep playing, and that's a recipe for me having a really bad time with the game.
whoa. Man, ain't nothing like a sunrise in Hawaii.
There we go. We've seen Hawaii within 5 hours. Yeah, it's like No Man's Sky was at launch for me. It's one of those games where I'm like, I feel like I've achieved nothing by playing it, but I can't put it down, and that's a real recipe for me having an unhealthy relationship with the game.
See you again soon.
No. Wait, careful, hold on.
Oh, airline staff not knowing how to help someone in and out of a wheelchair properly. I'm so surprised.
Hey. Mind if I take over?
Yes, please. Thank you.
No need to be so gentle with it. Just lift him by his belt here. Like a sumo in his loincloth. See?
Thanks for lending a hand, sir. We appreciate the help.
No. If anything, I was being too nosy.
I wouldn't call helping a stranger out nosy. I take it you've done this before?
Well, an old friend of mine spent most of his life in a wheelchair, so...
Yeah, that would do it then.
Anyway, you here on vacation?
You could say that.
Look at Ichiban making friends already.
Well, let's make the most of it, huh? Later.
Thanks again. Oh, huiho.
Who what now?
Huiho. It's like saying, until next time.
No, okay. Huiho!
We did it. We made it to Hawaii in under 5 hours of play, just about. And this is where we're going to call it a night. But we've at least made it to the setting of the game. We've made it to the location the game is played in now. Okay, we've got to find a taxi driver who speaks Japanese, but that's for Monday night's stream. Scrangle says, this is my first time seeing any real plot in a Yakuza game, and I think I see why people love it, if that's anything to go by. Honestly, the Yakuza games are like very serious, sincere, sweet, dramatic plot, where it's like, you know, lots of really good sweet feelings, lots of very intense crime drama, and then it's also, here's a silly plot about like trying to sell hot dogs at a festival full of people who have a hot dog phobia. Like, it's wacky silliness in between, like, intense crime drama, feelings. Like, it's a really, they somehow make that mix work really well. But yeah, we've made it to Japan. We're gonna meet some people next stream. We'll work out who we meet next time. I'm gonna save it in slot 3 because I'm gonna remember that slot 3 is the slot for on stream. Yeah, the first, as Kringle says, the first thing I ever saw was a guy fighting a bear in a forest. Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm going to call it a night for here. 2 hours is longer than I thought I was going to go. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I apologize that this was a shorter stream and it was earlier in the night than usual. But this was the only stream you were going to get out of me today. I'll be back on Monday, 10 PM UK, 5 PM Eastern, 2 PM Pacific, with some more Infinite Wealth. Hope you enjoy it. I'll see you soon. I'm going to go rest off this migraine. Good night.